Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Of course, it's your girl Erin. Obviously, I'm very pumped today because it's been several months since I filmed a everything that I crocheted this month video. That being said, I do have a cute little stack of items that I want to share with you. Some of these are crochet, a few of these are knit, and then we also have a few, well actually we only have one rug tufting piece, but tufting rugs is like a new obsession. So let's just go ahead and dive into the pile. I feel like I should preface this video with the fact that my piles have been getting smaller and smaller. Over like the last 6 months, I've really been cutting back on the projects that I want to make. A little bit was kind of due to burnout, and then also me just making so many things that I'm not even wearing. And the whole point of crocheting your wardrobe is to actually wear the things that you make. So yeah, the pile is a little bit sad. This is like 5-ish months worth, but to be fair, some of these projects took up 2 months of my time. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into each of the makes one by one. We might as well start off with the piece that I'm wearing right now. This was kind of like a spur of the moment project, and it kind of goes hand in hand with a little crochet dog sweater. Now originally I had made this for a tutorial. Of course I made it for my dog Suki, and this is like the finished result. The only sad thing with this is the fact that my dog is still in the growing phase, so I'm not too sure how long this sweater is actually going to fit her. I already know that you guys are going to ask, and yes, I have a full tutorial and a pattern up for this on my channel right now. So this is what the little crochet dog sweater looks like. So I started off with like a basic ribbed band that goes around her neckline. Then we just worked a little bit of increases to go over the shoulders. We crocheted these gorgeous little dog armholes. And then one of the shining moments with the dog sweater is the fact that I created like a little bit of a belly cutout. My dog is still learning how to go potty outside, but I know a lot of dogs are very fluent in that potty language. And I don't want your dogs to soil the sweater as they're wearing it. Like, I want to make sure that this is actually functional, hence the gorgeous, check out the shaping. And then I also really loved how I created kind of like this curved backside so that it kind of hugs and fits your dog a little bit more perfectly. So yeah, it's a pretty simple, very quick and easy make. I feel like in total, this probably only took me about like 2 hours to make. And I also had a few comments asking if you could make this for your cat. Absolutely. There's no reason that this pattern can't be adapted to fit pretty much any fur creature that you have. Now the yarn that I used for this little doggy sweater is the Jody Long Alba Aran. This is a number 4 heavy worsted, so it's more of like an Aran weight yarn. And I believe that this is wool and alpaca. So it's a nice dense fiber that's also gonna keep your pet super warm and cozy. Now, since we're already going into the summer, I think a really nice like wool cotton would be a really great alternative, as well as like an acrylic and cotton blend that might be a little bit more lightweight and more wearable for your pet. So yeah, this is make number 1. Now obviously we have these cute little burgundy stripes, and as I was making this, I knew I was gonna have some leftover yarn, hence the top right here. I really wanted to incorporate the matching 3 burgundy stripes. So I kind of have those going all around my chest and on the back side. And for those who are wondering, I did adapt my raglan t-shirt or raglan sweater pattern to make this really simple and easy cropped shirt. The only difference is that I just didn't add on any sleeves. But again, it's summer. I need this to be a little bit more lightweight. So me and the cap sleeves, we're besties till the end of time. Now because this yarn is a little bit more of a winter fiber, I did want to make sure that this top wasn't going to get me too hot and too sweaty, so I kind of adapted my raglan pattern to have a V-neck front, and then I figured that way there was going to be a little bit more like ventilation. And then a light bulb hit me. I figured I could use the contrast color to add in like a little bit of a lacy effect. So when I wear this, it's kind of giving me like baseball team vibes, or like team mom vibes. So to me, this almost looks like athleisure wear, but of course it's crochet. I'm still kind of dabbling around with the pattern version of this, but if you guys are interested, I figured I could put together a really quick tutorial on like a V-neck raglan style. I'm just so obsessed with one piece items or like top down. I really hate seaming, and I'm sure a lot of you guys also really put off like seaming your projects together. So having something like this, which is just like straight down one piece, this is kind of like a go-to project for me, especially for the summer. So yeah, this is item number 2 from the previous months. Moving it right along to one of my favorite makes that I'm super proud of. This is the Rosette Halter top. I just need to say that my pattern testers killed this. We just released this at the time that I'm filming this about a week ago. So cute. So perfect for summer. Obviously I use some of my own hand-dyed yarn, so this is in the colorway Wisteria. Really gorgeous like lilacs and pinks, a bunch of really pungent, I always use the term pungent, but that's for smell. Just very vivacious and colorful speckles. So with the Rosette halter top, obviously we have like a little necktie to wrap around our backside. The fun thing with this top is that we have like a split front center. So you do get a little bit more skin showing. We have this gorgeous little rose, crochet rose that we add into the center of the top. And then even the body panels right here have like a little bit of lace. Now for me, one of my favorite parts about this pattern is that I used a linked double crochet. I really wanted to create a summer piece that anybody could wear without a bra. Let me be more specific, without the fear of having like a nip slip. Nobody wants like their little titi or tita coming out the front, the side, peeking through your crochet work. A really big pet peeve of mine is when you go through all of the effort to make a really cute crochet piece, and then when it comes to wearing it, you have to wear a bra, and then the bra shows through your project. For me, it just kind of kills the vibe. Like I want this to be the centerpiece. So with the linked double crochets, they really make the piece super opaque. Like the stitches are literally attached to each other across like horizontally. So she's totally good to go. I'm gonna also include some photos of my pattern testers because every single version took my breath away. You have a little bit of a mixture between like lacy stitches and then very dense connected stitches. So this piece, one of my favorites for summer. I also have a pattern for this. I'm gonna link it up here. So if you guys wanna check that out, you can also make yourself a little Rosette halter top as well. I figured we'd do a little bit of a change up from the wearable pieces into some home decor. Now this rug actually took me about 3 months to make. I kind of want to blame this project for the reason why I didn't have a lot of projects over the last few months, but maybe I'm just not as fast of a crocheter as I thought I was. She's gorgeous. This is a centerpiece all on its own. She's big enough that she can not only be like a little rug on the floor, but you can also like pin this up on your wall, kind of like wall art, home art. So with this project, I actually double stranded with DK weight yarn. I believe this is the Hobie Amigo in DK weight. That's why there's so much color going on. I think I kind of alternated between like 10 or 12 different colors. So ultimately you get something that's really vibrant, really like rainbow, but I also have some like more muted colors in there as well. Just kind of break up all of the highlighted pieces. I'll be so honest, I love this piece, but it's a time consumer. Rugs traditionally weigh like 10 plus pounds. So this one, I mean, it's like a pizza. It's like a pizza pie. So yeah, this kind of just sits in the corner of my little crafting room right over there. Here it is. I made it in the circular shape. Not too much to say about her. I do have a tutorial and a pattern as well for this. So I'll also leave that up here somewhere. If you guys want to check this out and make it for yourself. I know a lot of my subscribers told me that they wanted to make placemats instead of rugs. So you kind of just start off with the same basic circular shape and then just add on as many rows as you would like until you feel like your piece is done. So voila, here she is. She's bright, she's colorful, and she's gonna go back on the floor. So I thought I was gonna save this piece until the very end of the video, but I feel like you guys are gonna be really excited about this because yes, I filmed another tutorial. So this is like a basic everyday summer tank. Before I even get into the details, I need to tell you about the yarn. So I actually ended up using the Jody Long Delish fiber. Sorry, Suki's like in and out of the room. 50% silk and 50% superwash. You don't have to use a silk yarn for the tutorial, but like I said, with the summer coming up, something like this is gonna get really hot and really warm, especially if I'm like in and out of the car, I'm at the park, I'm walking the dog. So we cue in this gorgeous lacy tank. I filmed this tutorial with the intent to be very easy and simple. So with this pattern, I made sure to alternate with only a 2-row repeat. Yeah, only 2 rows. And then you can make this tank as wide or as long as you guys would like. I am such a fangirl for this silk yarn. It feels so delectable. It's actually very like wispy and willowy, billowy in the wind. I just wore this outside and Jordan said he loved it. He thinks it's a really great kind of like deviation from my normal makes. I traditionally do not like this much color. I'm more of a basics, a neutrals gal, even like the darker tones. I don't think I've ever crocheted anything with orange or yellow, but I decided to do like a little mashup of the two. And then we get this. Of course, you can also crochet this in like one solid color, or you could use a bunch of scrap yarns and like alternate it and make it super colorful and crazy. But now that I finished this piece, I actually really love it. I love that I don't have anything this bright. So wearing this actually makes me feel a little bit more like confident. I feel more bubbly. I feel more sassy. It has a very subtle sheer effect. As I hold this up, it actually looks like a lot more see-through, but when it's on, y'all, it's like the perfect amount of lacy, but still opaque. Yeah, another make from literally like 3 days ago. Now we're starting to wind down to the last 3 projects, so we're gonna switch over to some knitting FOs. I did previously show this in a different video, but this is my finished Advent project. For this, I use all of my Avatar The Last Airbender Advent yarns. This pattern is actually sold over on Etsy, and I believe that the designer is Darling J'adore. This is their classic knitted tee. And honestly, this thing is stunning on. I didn't really size anything. I just chose her smallest size available and then knitted from that. I think the only difference with this top is that the designer recommended to add on more rows for the body and more rows for the sleeves. But shall we mention again, the cap sleeve on me looks supreme. So I kind of wanted to stick with that vibe. We have a very basic cropped knitted tee here, but I did make sure to make my sleeves a little bit shorter so they kind of hug me a little bit higher up on the arms. Throughout making this whip, I learned how to work increases correctly. I've knitted a few different projects, but apparently I've been knitting my increases wrong the entire time. So as you look really closely at the arms, you can see there's like a lot of holes and gaps here at the top, which means that you worked the increase wrong. Don't be like me, be like the butterfly version of me. Be the evolved version and learn how to work your increases correctly. What happened here? What happened here? And then somewhere along the way, I put 2 and 2 together and check out how clean that increase looks. I wish I had learned how to do this higher up, but no, I'm not gonna be re-knitting this. I kind of just wanna leave the project as is. It's kind of like a nice little showcase of the transition of my skills over time, kind of like a little snapshot. So I'm gonna leave her as is. Yeah, look at all of the Advent colors. So gorgeous. I'm super proud of this. And then also, can we just take a moment to appreciate the gorgeous stitch definition? Like, look how even my tension was. Ooh, this is like one of my top knitted projects. So now this next knit make is actually one of my most worn projects from the start of the year. This is, I like to call this my Tarantino top. Now me holding her up doesn't really do too much justice because it kind of just looks like a big blob. But when it is on, it is the perfect layering piece. I decided to name this like the Tarantino top because I made this entire project in like reverse order. So initially, I actually dyed this on bare pure white yarn. This is the Hobbii Friends Kid Silk. So it's a lace weight, it's a number 0 fiber. I double stranded with like their pure white color. And I just kind of went with a, what's new, surprise, surprise, another raglan style knit project. For this one, because I knew I wanted this to be something I could just throw over a bralette or a tank top, I went for more of a wide neck design. So I could either leave it on like this, or I could kind of like throw it off of one shoulder and it gives a little bit more of like a sensual feel to it. I love off the shoulder type of tops that you can kind of switch up on and off and on and off. So yeah, here is the wider boat neck raglan knit style. And then I also went for like deeper inset sleeves, so they don't really hit me right at the armpit. They actually come down quite a bit, but again, it's a layering piece. It's meant to be kind of oversized, a little bit baggy. And then after I was finished with the whole project, that is when I threw this into the dye pan because I wanted to see how a project was going to look when you knit it first and then dye it after. Obviously, however the color falls is what you're stuck with. Traditionally, when you're knitting with hand-dyed yarn, you can kind of play around with the stitches and like the color placement. But for something like this, it was a little bit risky because once I threw the color on there, it's just done. That's it. And me having the too much jean, I did kind of go above more than I wanted. So let's show you guys the colors because I have some really gorgeous like earth tones, some like taupe, some ashy gray, some browns, but then you can also very clearly see just how much burgundy went in here. Nothing is ever going to go 100% to plan. And honestly, I love how it came out. Love the Tarantino process. I definitely want to make a few more of these, maybe even like baby tees, or I really want to make like a Tarantino skirt. I think that would look so amazing. So yeah, here is another little make. Now for the last and final project that I wanted to show you guys is actually a tufting piece. This one I am so proud of. Obviously I have the first ever rug tufting piece, which I'm obsessed with. There's actually like a lot of twists and turns and designs going on. There's a lot of color changes, but because I wanted to add something into my living room, I felt like the perfect piece was gonna go right into the corner of the living room. It's kind of where we have our plant, and it looked a little bit plain. So here we have the perfect corner rug. As you can see, we have this really harsh 90-degree angle because I literally wanted this to slide right up into the nook of the wall. And then you guys know I couldn't help myself. I'm a huge fan of like the wavy, the funky, the asymmetrical shape. So all I really did was like hand draw some curvatures onto my monk's cloth. And then this time we only went for a few different colors. I've got to say that my progress from this rug is so drastically improved from the first one. A few things that I changed up with this rug tuft is that I decided to double strand with my yarn instead of single strand. Originally with that project, having one strand of yarn, you have to kind of go over the same section a few times to pack in like the density of the fiber. But doing that too many times can tear holes in your monk's cloth, and then there's no way to repair it. You can't really see it up on the wall, but there are like two sections where I literally tore it a new hole. So we kind of adapted and adjusted our technique a little bit. Now, if I had the skill, I would like to go in and carve out all of the lines to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. But again, this is only my second ever rug tufting piece, and I know my skills. If I were to go into this and carve it out without the knowledge and the skill, I'm gonna wreck this one too. So I think this piece, I'm gonna leave it alone, but I got a lot of love on my rug tufting reel over on Instagram. And some of you guys were saying that I should make a few more variations in different colors. So if you guys are interested in that, please also let me know down below in the comments if you would like some different color variations and different designs I could stock in my shop. I think it'd be really fun to put together like a little mini collection of like corner rugs. That's going to go ahead and wrap up all of my crochet and knit makes from the start of the year. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I know that it's been so long since I made these, but please also let me know down below in the comments if there's a specific tutorial that you guys want something on, any type of content. Yeah, I just really want to dive back into keeping my hands busy, crocheting a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be seeing you all very soon. Take care. Bye.